Well, we were in Quincy, Illinois. When I say we, Freddie Gale, my partner at the time, and we were working for a cousin of mine building outboard racing engines and racing them. We had an opportunity from some people here in Texas that would let Freddie and I come to Texas and build racing engines here. And we took that opportunity and we moved from Quincy, Illinois to Bryan, Texas in 1962.
And then you got a little sidetracked for a time trying to build an engine for what amounted to a flying saucer. Talk about that.
Yes, well, we were contracted by Mr. Berger's company to build a lightweight, high horsepower, high engine output. We used a 6-cylinder Mercury outboard engine at that time. It had to be used stationary, so we had to make a cooling system for it so that it would run. We were told that it didn't have to run very long at all because we were just merely finding out if this terminology was going to work or not.
And you did this work at the research annex, the old Bryan Air Force Base,
Yeah,
right?
well, we built the engine in our shop here in Bryan, and when we took it out and mounted it on the, I call the flying saucer, is what it looked like to me. It was fastened to a water pump system that cooled it temporarily, and it had a drive off of it that was driven by belt that drove the, I call it the blower part of it. And we did one initial run on it, and it ran the RPMs, developed the horsepower that they had it designed for, but it failed to do any lifting at all. So they asked us to make more horsepower out of it, so we were not limited to any restrictions at all like we are in the racing circuit. So we just made our own pistons and bored it out bigger and put it back on the stand again. And this was about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and we cranked it up and ran it, developed much more RPMs than they had needed, but it still didn't lift at all. So we assumed that they were going back to the drawing board and do some different designs. And after that, we heard no more about it at all until you brought the subject up.
Many years later.
55
years. The company was
ago.
Astrokinetic. It was based out of Houston.
It was a Houston company.
Now, did you have any idea why the president of the company, Fremont Berger, was building this craft?
Well, he had a Navy contract to build it, and it was a test. It was something that would have worked, I guess, at the time if they'd got it to work. But
so it was a vertical lift.
it was just made to vertically lift a load and move it around and set it back down again, to my understanding. I was more involved in that motor part than I was in the actual what it did, but we made it do what we were supposed to make it do.
So the prototype was in one of the hangars, I assume, at the research annex.
Yeah, and
describe what it looked like and what your memory of seeing it the first time was.
Well, the hangar was the Air Force Base hangar, which had housed airplanes and
well, I mean the
shops.
Dynalift, the flying saucer.
Oh well, my memory of it being about 30-foot saucer upside down, with an opening in the top of it, not real big, and it looked like what it appeared to me that the air came over the outside of the saucer and then actually just lifted the whole thing up. That was my impression of what it was designed to do.
So was the propeller above the saucer or inside the saucer? Where did the pilots?
Well, this is my recollection that it was a shaft that went up to the top of the saucer part, and that's where the fan blower, I call it a blower, more of a fan type situation, actually blew air over the outside edges of the saucer. And supposedly that was supposed to do the lifting at all, but looking at they used bathroom scales on each one of the legs, and I never saw the scales come off of zero.
So all of a sudden, they didn't return your phone calls
No.
and And that was it.
That was it, and,
Did you have any curiosity as to what might have happened, or
Well,
years later try to find out?
being a young man involved in a new business and and I had 3 children, we were busy, and we went on to other things. We were building racing engines, we were selling them, so that was our livelihood. And we didn't dwell on it. I guess we never thought about it at all.
Well, as it turns out, he moved to another site in Texas to continue his research.
Oh, you did?
And he did not have a contract with the Navy. He was looking to get a contract with the Navy.
Okay.
The aircraft at one point did lift off the ground and further flight tests, I guess you would call it. But it could not deliver what the Navy the Navy needed.
Expected out
Thus,
of it.
he did not get the contract,
Mhm.
and he wound up committing suicide at his
Okay.
home in Houston
Yeah.
not long after that.
Okay. If it was this saucer actually moved from this hangar to another location, to your knowledge?
Yes.
Is it still in existence?
That I don't know. That's a very good
I really
question.
would like to see it.
There are pictures on the internet, and in fact, Popular Science
Well,
magazine.
yes, I did get that, yeah.
Yeah.
Different ones. Yeah, the one there with the Mercury engine on it, it looks like it.